Hi everybody and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. Has golf been a game that you've always wanted to learn? I was the exact same way, but I looked at it and thought, man, it's just a difficult game to get into. It's really time consuming. I know it's hard. There's also this big barrier to entry, whether it's just feeling like you fit in or having to go through the troubles of learning the game good enough to be able to enjoy a round of golf outside. Well, ever since the pandemic, the golf industry has done a really good job at making the game a lot more accessible and easier to play than it ever has been before. So as we start this new year and you look to make a change or an addition, whether it's for physical or mental well-being, I'm gonna tell you why it is finally time for you to get into this wonderful game of golf and enjoy it for a lifetime. It's the start of a new year and we are starting to look at what we want to do to increase our mental or physical well-being. And if the game of golf is something that you've ever thought about getting into, I'm going to tell you why this is the year for you to start that journey. Now, this is a topic that I could talk about for hours because I was just in your shoes not too long ago. I didn't learn the game of golf until my late 30s. Now, the one thing that I wish I would have done is learned a lot earlier in my life. I love this game, and I can assure you that if you are thinking about or have thought about getting into the game, you're probably going to love it just as much. Now, my goal here today is not to tell you and preach at you for hours about all these reasons why you should play the game, because I could. I just want to give you a few that kind of help raise your eyebrow and think, you know what? This is the year I want to start golfing. Because there's been some advancements in the industry that have made it the perfect time. I'm going to begin with equipment. The equipment companies have done a very good job at making the game easier to play than ever. How, you ask? Well, the term that you're going to hear a lot when you start looking at equipment is forgiveness. Now, what that means is that when you don't strike the ball perfectly in the sweet spot, which a lot of new and beginner golfers won't do very often, the ball is going to go the direction of intention a lot more than it used to. You're going to get a lot more distance than you would have in the past without needing to have a really high swing speed. It makes the game much easier to learn and play. From your driver all the way through the putter, clubs have been designed to be focused for a new and beginner golfer. Major brands have certain lines specifically for you. You have folks like Sticks, direct-to-consumer brands who make clubs directly for new and beginner golfers. The biggest change to the game of golf in the last quite a few years, and it's really kind of coming out now, is the accessibility to the game. No longer do you have to go to a golf course to learn and play. Because of simulators and indoor focused experiences like Topgolf, you can play the game of golf all year, no matter what the weather is. About Golf has been doing this since 2002, and you can go on their website and find a sim near you where you could actually rent by the hour to learn to play. Now, why is that important? Well, learning the game during the winter in a controlled environment where you'll never lose a single ball could not make it any easier. There are AI-focused technologies that help you learn faster. There are training aids developed now that are going to help you get in the right direction no matter how you want to play the game. And then you get to the point where you get to go out to the club and people are so darn accepting. They love to see new golfers. And they'll do anything they can to make sure that you're off to the right direction. This is a game that will 100% help with your physical and mental well-being. Look, ever since COVID, we've had a lot more focus on that. But people kind of get carried away and they think, well, I'm not going to run a marathon. Well, that's just not the focus you need. What you need to do is just find something that turns your brain off, gets you excited to get outdoors or indoors. Play a game that allows your body to move. The game of golf, you could walk a course, you could take a cart and walk to your ball and back. You still have to swing the club, which means you need to maintain a level of flexibility and strength to enjoy that game from tee to green. And lastly, This is a game you can play forever. This is a game you can play forever with your friends and your family. You can play with your kids as they grow up, as they move out of the house. It's a great way for you to stay engaged and connect with your kids, your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues. It's a game that can be played whether you want to be extremely good at it and put your focus on it, or if you just want to be good enough to get from tee to green and enjoy the fresh air, or fun to have with friends indoors. This is the year for you to learn the game of golf. There are a lot more reasons than just these, but these are the ones that should pique your interest enough and understand that that level of intimidation that has kept you from playing this game before, it's not there anymore. People want you to learn the game of golf. They want to teach you about it. They want to talk to you about it. They will welcome you with open arms. This community is fantastic. I've really enjoyed meeting and growing my network within this game. I hope the same for you. So start. Where do you start? Go down to a local golf shop. Go find a sim house and go talk to the person running it. Go down to the golf course. Speak to the golf pro. Speak to the folks at the pro desk. Just talk. Find somebody you know that plays golf and say, hey, can you take me down to the About Golf simulator in town? I want to learn this game. It's going to be the best decision you've made this year. See you next time.